Hello everyone, this is Mr. Barry coming to you again. This video is for my Algebra 2 students in 1st and 5th period. We are going to get into the second part of section 2.1 today. So hopefully you all are ready to get into this. Okay, so the second part of this section is evaluating functions. Okay, so we have seen functions before. An example of a function would be f of x equals negative 2x plus 1. Okay, we have seen functions like that before, but now we're going to be evaluating those functions. Okay, so we'll be given a function such as this one, and it will ask us to find let's do find f of 8. Okay, so we have a function given here, and it'll ask us to find f of 8. Okay, so to do this, here's what we're going to do. Now, if you'll remember me earlier this year saying that a function is like a vending machine, so we're going to put something into that machine and then get something out of that machine. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. So we're going to find f of 8. That's what we're trying to do. So f of x. Okay, so wherever we see an x, all we're going to do is plug in that 8. Okay, so f of 8 equals, okay, negative 2x. Well, we're plugging in 8 for x. Okay, and plus 1. Okay, so if we plug in an 8, okay, we're plugging in an 8, what do we get? Okay, so we go ahead, f of 8 equals, okay, negative 2 times 8 is going to give me a negative 16 plus 1. Okay, and then I simplify, so f of 8, oops, f of 8 is equal to negative 16 minus 1, which is negative 15. Okay, let's try another one. Okay, so on this one, notice that we have a different variable h. Okay, in the first example that we did, we had the variable f of x. Okay, f of x, it could be h of x. Okay, it could be any variable there is. Okay, but the same thing is going to happen. Alright, so in this one, we have h of x equals 2x minus 3, and it wants us to find h of 7. Alright, so same thing what we're going to do. So to find h of 7, all we're going to do is plug in that 7 right here for x. Okay, so here's how we're going to do that. Here we go. So we have h of x equals 2, oops, h of 7 equals 2x. Well, we know x, we're plugging in a 7 minus 3. Okay, then all we do is simplify. Okay, so it's equal to 14 minus 3. Okay, so whenever we plug in a 7, okay, h of 7 equals our simplified answer down here, which is 11. Okay, let's take a look at this example here with an exponent. Okay, so we have k of x equals negative 2x squared minus x. Okay, and we're going to find k of 8. Alright, so the number that we're going to substitute in or plug in is that k of 8. Okay, so wherever we see an x, we're going to plug in the number 8. Right? So k of 8 equals negative 2 times 8 squared minus 8. Okay, so all we did was substitute that value in. Okay, we're trying to find k of 8, so we plug in an 8. Alright, so now this is where order of operations comes back. Alright, so now order of operations. So PEMDAS, no parentheses there, but the E stands for exponents. Okay, do I see any exponents? Bingo, right there. Alright, so with it being 8 squared, I'm going to do that operation first. Right? So equals negative 2 and then 8 squared, which is 64. Still minus 8. Now I can go back and still do order of operations. So I don't want to subtract 8 first. I don't want to do that. I want to go ahead and multiply this out. Okay? So equals negative 2 times 64 is negative 128. Okay? Minus 8. Which I can simplify one more time to negative 136. Okay, so final answer for this one would be k of 8 equals negative 136. Okay, and that is the biggest mistake that I see is right here. A lot of people would like to not do the exponent first, but they want to go ahead and multiply this negative 2 times 8. Okay, you're going to get a different answer if you go that way. Okay, so go ahead and do the exponent order of operations first. Okay, let's go ahead and take this one step further. Okay, so now we have p of n equals 2n squared minus 4 minus 2n. Okay, and we're going to find p of 10. So the number that we're going to be plugging in for n is 10. Okay, so now all we're going to do is we're going to plug in 10 at anywhere we see an n. Okay, so we have p of 10 equals 2, okay, plug in a 10 squared minus 4 minus 2n, and we're plugging in 10 for n. Okay, now we can go ahead and simplify just like we did on the last one. Okay, order of operations are essential. Okay, so we need to take care of this exponent here first. Alright, so 10 squared is 100. Okay, so I've got 2 times 100 minus 4, and then minus 20 if I multiply negative 2 times 10. Okay, then from there, okay, now I can just multiply. So 2 times 100 is 200, minus 4 minus 20. Okay, and I know 200 minus 4 is 196 minus 20. Okay, and 196 minus 20 equals 176. Alright, so whenever we plug in 10 for P, okay, so P of 10 equals 176. Okay, so we plugged in 10, and our answer that we got whenever we plugged it in and evaluated it was 176. That looks like a negative there, but it's a positive. So equals 176.